You know her as the Scream Queen who slayed horror legends and dazzled in comedies. But Jamie Lee Curtis's real life is wilder than any script Hollywood ever handed her. From growing up in the shadow of two silver screen icons, Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh, to becoming a bold icon in her own right, Jamie's journey is a roller coaster of reinvention, rebellion, and raw honesty. She shattered typecasts, embraced aging on her terms, and won an Oscar for doing what she does best, being unapologetically herself. But behind the fame are rare photos and untold stories you've never seen, moments that reveal the unfiltered Jamie. From her battles with addiction to her unlikely bond with Hollywood outcasts and her fierce advocacy for mental health and trans rights. Whether rocking a red carpet or calling out the industry's double standards, she does it with grit, grace, and a wicked sense of humor. In this episode of Past Paradise, we dive deep into the crazy, chaotic, and inspiring life of Jamie Lee Curtis, one photo and one secret at a time. The Hollywood Heiress, Jamie Lee Curtis's untold beginnings. As a child of Hollywood royalty, Jamie Lee Curtis was bound to be famous. She grew up in the high society of the entertainment business because her parents were famous stars Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh. Not surprisingly, her trip wasn't easy. Through her early problems, Curtis revealed in 2025 that she initially lacked faith in her acting skills. Despite coming from a famous family, she worked hard to make her name for herself and became known as a skilled actress in her own right, not just because of her parents. Her breakthrough part in 1978's Halloween cemented her reputation as a scream queen, but she went on to play various roles that showed how versatile she was. Today, Curtis's strength and commitment to her work inspires people. Rare glimpses. Jamie Lee Curtis like you've never seen. Even in 2025, Jamie Lee Curtis's acts and daring approach to fashion and self-expression continue to fascinate audiences. At the 2025 SAG Awards, she looked stunning in a dramatic black feathered dress, showing she isn't afraid to make big choices. Others said she looked like a raven, while others said the outfit was exquisite. In addition to walking the red carpet, Curtis strongly supports body acceptance and healthy aging, which goes against Hollywood's beauty standards. Recent nominations for The Last Showgirl show how talented she really is. With her unguarded confidence, Curtis continues to change what it means to be a star, whether it's through rare pictures or real-life moments. From Scream Queen to Icon, the evolution of Jamie Lee Curtis. The legendary horror movie actress Jamie Lee Curtis has become a Hollywood star. She continues to change her reputation in 2025 by combining business, campaigning, and acting. Her career started with Halloween in 1978, which made her famous as the ultimate scream queen. Through the years, Curtis added to her range and her performance in Everything Everywhere All at Once, won her Academy Award in 2023. Recently, she became the executive producer of Blumhouse Television's psychological horror show, Darkly. Curtis also chooses to be positive. She says she's pushing disappointment aside and focusing on hope. This proves her ability to remake herself. Freakier Friday was in August 2025. With or without the camera, Curtis is still a powerful force in the entertainment world. Behind the camera. Jamie Lee Curtis's private life unveiled. In private, Jamie Lee Curtis's life is very satisfying. Being married to director Christopher Guest since 1984 is still one of the longest-lasting marriages in Hollywood. Curtis says that the three things that keep them together are laughter, mutual respect, and enjoying each other's company. Curtis publicly supports Ruby's journey as a transgender woman. The couple has two adopted children, Annie and Ruby in particular. Curtis also promotes mental health and drug recovery, drawing from her own experiences. She still supports welcome and inclusion in 2025, showing that her impact goes far beyond the big screen. The honesty and passion that define her work also appear in her personal life. The untold struggles of Jamie Lee Curtis. Despite her success, Jamie Lee Curtis has had many problems in her personal life. In 2025, she talked freely about her struggle with addiction and how leaving drugs changed her life. After struggling with drug addiction in the late 1980s, Curtis has been clean for more than 20 years. Her fame has helped her advocate for healing, assisting people to overcome similar problems. Additionally, Curtis has talked about the stresses of working in Hollywood, especially regarding getting older and how she looks. Accepting herself and not trying to be perfect has helped her reject false beauty standards. In 2024, Curtis said she was leaving behind disappointment and focused on hope. Her determination continues to inspire, showing that even famous people have hard times and come out better. The woman behind the fame. Jamie Lee Curtis is a force of nature, not just a Hollywood figure. 25 years later, her honesty and strength continue to inspire. In 2025, Curtis said she was leaving behind disappointment and focused on hope. Utilizing her own experiences, she continues to speak out in support of mental health, drug recovery, and acceptance. Curtis also has personal goals that she pursues in addition to her work. For example, she'll return to theaters in August 2025 with Freakier Friday. Starring in movies, making new projects, and fighting for social issues are all examples of Curtis showing that fame is only one part of her identity. Not only has her job marked her reputation, but so has the effect she continues to make. Vintage glamour – rare photos of Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis has always worn classic grace, and rare old pictures show how she's grown as a Hollywood star. With her stunning performance at the Palm Springs Film Festival in 2025, Curtis proved that her classic style can still not be beat. Throughout her career, she has easily changed from the young charm of her early years to the polished ease she exudes now. Rare pictures from the 1980s show her in beautiful corset dresses and looks inspired by pinup girls. Her ability to change while staying true to herself has made her a fashion legend. Forever glamorous, Curtis continues enchanting audiences in classic Chanel dresses and bold modern outfits. Hollywood royalty – Jamie Lee Curtis's legacy. Not only has Jamie Lee Curtis's famous roles cemented her place as a Hollywood queen, but she's also remained truthful throughout her career. Despite 2025, Curtis continues to motivate people to let go of disappointment and welcome hope. Her acting work stretches over several decades, from her big break in Halloween to her Oscar-winning turn in Everything, Everywhere, All at Once in 2023. Beyond acting, she's a strong supporter of mental health and drug treatment, using her own experiences to do so. Curtis is also still working in movies. She's acting in The Last Showgirl and directing the prison drama The Sticky. This proves her ability to remake herself. Freakier Friday was in August 2025. She leaves behind a tradition of strength, ability, and bold self-expression. Wildest moments caught on camera. Alongside her acting, Jamie Lee Curtis has never been afraid to say what she thinks. Her dramatic feathered dress on the red carpet at the 2025 SAG Awards shocked everyone and started a talk on social media. The way she dresses has always been a mirror of her bold nature. Aside from her glamorous appearance, Curtis has also been caught in honest, emotional moments, like when she fiercely supported wildfire aid or recreated her famous perfect jazzercise scene on The Tonight Show. She's one of the most interesting people in Hollywood because she can accept honesty and freedom. Curtis keeps showing she's unique, whether she's making news for her bold clothes or sincere actions. The secret side of Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis has always been open about her problems, but in 2025, she's starting a new story of hope. Her announcement at the Palm Springs International Film Festival that she's putting disappointment behind her and focusing on the good things in life was impressive. Using her own experiences, Curtis has long been an advocate for mental health and drug recovery. Unexpected job moves, such as her appearance in Star Trek Section 31 as the mystery character Control, continues to surprise fans. Beyond Hollywood, Curtis is still very dedicated to action, especially for LGBTQ+ rights and environmental issues. She shows that reinventing yourself is a lifelong process through her work and personal statements, which makes her one of the most interesting people in the business. An epic and tragic life. Jamie Lee Curtis's life has been a fantastic mix of success and failure. Looking back on her trip in 2025, she said she was leaving behind disappointment and welcoming hope. To become a strong supporter of recovery, Curtis overcame her problems, including an addiction. From her breakthrough part in Halloween in 1978 to her Oscar-winning performance in Everything Everywhere All at Once in 2023, her Hollywood career is built on toughness. Despite problems, Curtis keeps doing well. She's currently acting and directing The Sticky. The woman's ability to turn hardship into strength has made her iconic, showing that victory often comes from life's most complex problems. Unfiltered and unapologetic. Jamie Lee Curtis's real story. Jamie Lee Curtis has never been shy in the past, and in 2025 she's still as truthful as ever. She talked freely about her journey to recover from addiction in a recent interview, stressing how important it is to be honest and accept yourself. Criticizing Hollywood's beauty standards, Curtis also supports aging normally and rejects false expectations. She completely accepted a bold new look for her most recent part in The Last Showgirl, which shows how brave she is when changing. The actress Curtis is still a passionate fighter who supports LGBTQ+ rights and mental health programs. Realness is her biggest strength. Whether she's on or off screen, her fans are inspired by how she lives without filters or excuses. Most shocking revelations. Jamie Lee Curtis has never been afraid to tell the truth, and even in 2025, she still surprises her fans with open news. She said she's breaking free from disappointment and focused on hope at the Palm Springs International Film Festival. For clarity, Curtis also talked about why she deleted her X, formerly Twitter, account. The Last Showgirl, her most recent movie, shows that she's still growing as an actor by showing she's not afraid to play unconventional parts. Curtis also shared an emotional shot of herself crying after shooting Freakier Friday to show how emotions affected her. Curtis is still one of Hollywood's most honest and bold voices, whether she's talking about her personal problems or personal and professional achievements. The untamed spirit of Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis has always been bold. 2025, she's still full of undeniable fire. She said she's breaking free from disappointment and focused on hope at the Palm Springs International Film Festival. One of her daring fashion choices, a stunning feathered dress at the SAG Awards, shows how wild she is. According to her own experiences, Curtis is still a strong supporter of mental health and drug treatment. Additionally, she shocked fans with an appearance in Star Trek Section 31, showing that her acting skills are still growing. Whatever she does, acting, politics, or personal revelations, Curtis refuses to fit in. She shows the world that real power comes from being yourself without any doubt. Rare and unseen. Jamie Lee Curtis throughout the years. For decades, Jamie Lee Curtis has captivated audiences, and rare pictures show how her career in Hollywood has changed. For example, in 2025, Curtis continues to honor her heritage by acting in The Last Showgirl and creating the hit woman show The Sticky. Historic pictures show how she's changed from a young scream queen in Halloween in 1978 to an Oscar-winning actor in Everything Everywhere All at Once in 2023. Recently discovered behind-the-scenes pictures from True Lies show how brave she is in action parts. Plus, Curtis looks stunning at the Palm Springs Film Festival, showing that her classic beauty can't be beat. She's still one of Hollywood's most popular and enduring stars, as shown in these rare glimpses, which include private moments and iconic film stills. Hollywood journey in pictures. Many years of captivating audiences, Jamie Lee Curtis's Hollywood story is beautifully shown in rare and famous photos. Still making news in 2025, Curtis looked beautiful at the SAG Awards in a bold black feathered gown that made people talk. Archival shots show how she changed from a young scream queen in Halloween in 1978 to an Oscar-winning actor in Everything, Everywhere, All at Once in 2023. Her most recent appearance at CinemaCon was to support Freakier Friday with Lindsay Lohan. Curtis's ability to change while staying true to herself is shown in every picture. Her journey in Hollywood, whether on the red carpet or behind the scenes, is still a remarkable example of strength, ability, and bold self-expression. The Crazy Life of Jamie Lee Curtis – What You Didn't Know. Jamie Lee Curtis's life has taken many surprising turns, showing that she's more than a famous actress. Fans keep finding out interesting things about her journey in 2025. Although Curtis has won an Oscar for acting, she's also a designer with a patent for a throwaway baby outfit. The British peerage of her husband, Christopher Guest, also makes her a baroness, though she doesn't usually use the title. Beyond Hollywood, Curtis has a strange passion for video games, especially World of Warcraft. Her friendships with actors like Jake Gyllenhaal and Sigourney Weaver make her life even more interesting. Curtis stays in or out of the spotlight as a powerhouse of ability, creativity, and pleasant shocks. Most iconic moments. As an actress, Jamie Lee Curtis has given performances that will live in people's memories. And in 2025, she's still making waves. Wearing a bold black feathered outfit to the SAG Awards made people talk, showing how brave she is regarding fashion. From her big part in Halloween to her Oscar-winning performance in Everything Everywhere All at Once, Curtis's most famous moments happened over many years. Recent performances in The Last Showgirl shocked people and showed how well she can change. Curtis is still a Hollywood star, whether it's because of her bold on-screen looks or her unforgettable roles. For generations to come, her impact will be remembered for her honesty and brave decisions that captivated viewers. The woman who changed Hollywood. Jamie Lee Curtis has changed Hollywood forever, showing that being true to yourself and trying new things are the keys to success. She still motivates people in 2025, casting off disappointment and welcoming hope. Her acting work stretches over several decades, from her big break in Halloween to her Oscar-winning turn in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Along with acting in The Last Showgirl, Curtis has also made a name for herself as the director of the heist show Sticky. In addition to playing, she strongly supports mental health and acceptance, and she uses her fame to make improvements. Coming out in August 2025 was Freakier Friday, showing that Curtis is good at developing new ideas. She leaves behind a tradition of strength, ability, and bold self-expression. Hidden struggles and triumphs. While Jamie Lee Curtis has had problems in her personal and business life, her strength has marked her reputation. Her announcement in 2025 that she was leaving disappointment behind and focused on hope was powerful. Curtis has talked freely about her struggle with addiction, successfully recovering from drug addiction, and becoming a strong supporter of recovery. Additionally, she keeps questioning Hollywood's beauty standards by accepting her natural age and refusing false expectations. Curtis has done exceptionally well following failures, appearing in and directing The Sticky, and demonstrating her ability to change herself. Her story symbolizes determination and shows that victory often comes from the most challenging times in life. As an example of how to be successful in the long term, Curtis is still a model. The untold stories behind the fame. People have always known about Jamie Lee Curtis's journey, but some stories remain unknown. Her announcement in 2025 that she was leaving disappointment behind and focused on hope was powerful. To become a strong supporter of recovery, Curtis overcame her problems, including an addiction. In addition, she made news when she deleted her X, or formerly Twitter, account, saying she needed to clear her mind. In addition to working in Hollywood, Curtis has taken on new roles in The Last Showgirl and produced the heist show The Sticky. This woman's ability to turn hardship into strength has made her iconic, showing that victory often comes from life's most complex problems. As an example of how to be successful in the long term, Curtis is still a model. Most daring roles and real-life adventures. Fearless acting and brave decisions in her personal life have helped Jamie Lee Curtis build a successful career. In 2025, she remains daring by appearing in The Last Showgirl, a movie that shows how well she can play complicated roles. From the action-packed True Lies to the mind-bending Everything Everywhere All at Once, Curtis has played risky parts over the years. She's an advocate for mental health and an enthusiastic fundraiser, and she was even a surprise guest at BlizzCon dressed as a World of Warcraft character. Curtis shows that being bold and open to new ideas is the key to success, both on and off screen, making her one of Hollywood's most electrifying figures. The truth behind the headlines. While Jamie Lee Curtis has always been sincere, she continues to be so in 2025. She discussed putting disappointment behind her and focusing on hope at the Palm Springs International Film Festival. In other news, Curtis made waves when she deleted her X, or formerly Twitter, account, saying she needed to clear her mind. Beyond Hollywood, she's still very dedicated to action, promoting LGBTQ+ rights and mental health programs. In her newest movie, The Last Showgirl, she plays a strong female lead, showing that she's still growing as an actor. Curtis is still one of Hollywood's most honest and bold voices, whether she's talking about her personal problems or monumental moments in her career. She reminds her fans that being herself is her biggest strength. Life in rare photographs. Seldom seen photos beautifully show Jamie Lee Curtis's trip through Hollywood. Recently discovered pictures from 2025 show how she changed from a young scream queen in 1978's Halloween to an Oscar-winning actor in 2023's Everything Everywhere All at Once. Her bold approach to fashion is shown in old pictures, such as the stunning black feathered gown she wore to the 2025 SAG Awards. Images from behind the scenes of True Lies show her dedication to action-packed parts, and casual photos of her with other stars like Lindsay Lohan at CinemaCon show the long-lasting nature of her friendships. Rare pictures of Curtis's life show her changing over the years while staying true to herself, whether on the red carpet or in a private moment with her family. The Untold Hollywood Chronicles. Many surprising turns, victories, and personal discoveries happen in Jamie Lee Curtis's path to Hollywood. She continues to fascinate viewers in 2025, acting in The Last Showgirl and Freakier Friday, playing the same popular part. Curtis has always been honest about her problems, like how she overcame addiction and adjusting to the stresses of fame. Her latest story about how Questlove told her she would win an Oscar for Everything Everywhere All at Once is still strange to her. Beyond acting, Curtis still strongly supports mental health and acceptance, using her fame to bring about change. Curtis shows her film career isn't over with her brave acts and sincere campaigning. Most memorable red carpet looks. In 2025, Jamie Lee Curtis continued to make a statement on the red carpet with her daring fashion choices. She looked stunning at the 2025 SAG Awards in a dramatic black feathered dress with sparkles and flowing fabrics. Responses to the look were mixed. Some liked its elegance, while others said it looked like a raven. Fearless fashion has always been a part of Curtis's style, from her sleek, simple looks in the 1990s to her glamorous, vintage-inspired outfits lately. Her red carpet style is still legendary, whether wearing classic Hollywood gowns or trying new experimental styles. One of Hollywood's most stylish stars, she can change who she is while staying true to herself. The actress who defied expectations. To prove that reinventing herself is her strongest trait, Jamie Lee Curtis has spent decades doing it. In 2025, she continues to change by playing a leading part in The Last Showgirl, a movie that shows she can take on interesting new roles. Critics praise Curtis's ability to switch roles from horror star to Oscar-winning actor. In addition to acting, she produces The Sticky, a Prime Video hit woman series, and co-stars with Nicole Kidman in Scarpetta. A bold approach to job choices mirrors her acceptance of change and going against what others expect of her. Curtis also publicly supports mental health and acceptance, ensuring her influence goes beyond Hollywood. In front of or behind the camera, she shows that reinventing yourself is more than just a skill, it's a way of life. Life beyond the silver screen. The famous actress Jamie Lee Curtis is also a change agent. In 2025, she continues to take advantage of new chances by appearing with Lindsay Lohan in Freakier Friday. Curtis has also gone into creating The Sticky, a show about the maple syrup business in Canada. In addition to being an actor, she's still a strong supporter of mental health and acceptance, using her fame to ignite hope. Following a difficult year in 2024, Curtis announced that she would leave behind disappointment and focus on the good things in life. Being dedicated to action, stories, and personal growth shows that her impact goes far beyond the movie theater. Whatever she does, film, charity work, or honest writing, Curtis keeps changing what it means to be a Hollywood hero. The stories Hollywood tried to hide. While Jamie Lee Curtis has always been sincere, some parts of her journey remain unknown. Her announcement in 2025 that she was leaving disappointment behind and focused on hope was powerful. For example, Curtis overcame an addiction, which she talked about publicly throughout her work. In addition, she made news when she deleted her X, or formerly Twitter, account, saying she needed to clear her mind. In addition to working in Hollywood, Curtis has taken on new roles in The Last Showgirl and produced the heist show The Sticky. This woman's ability to turn hardship into strength has made her iconic, showing that victory often comes from life's most complex problems. As an example of how to be successful in the long term, Curtis is still a model. Most unforgettable moments. The daring nature and unique moments of Jamie Lee Curtis continue to fascinate viewers. Online users had a variety of opinions about her stunning black feathered dress at the 2025 SAG Awards. Others said she looked like a raven, which shows Curtis's ability to make a fashion statement. A funny conversation happened with Colin Farrell, where she joked that he gave her COVID at the Golden Globes. Curtis is still a movie star icon, juggling her acting job with political work. Through her bold red carpet outfits and honest moments on stage, she consistently shows that she's one of the most famous and outspoken stars in the business. The woman who never backed down. Being tough has helped Jamie Lee Curtis build a successful business, showing she doesn't let standards define her. And in 2025, she said she was putting disappointment behind her and focused on hope. Curtis has always been vocal, whether she was protesting against Hollywood's beauty standards or raising awareness about mental health. To keep pushing the limits, she's currently acting in and creating the heist show The Sticky. Her ability to change while staying true to her beliefs made her an iconic figure with a long history. For Curtis, bold acts, actions, or personal discoveries make her a force to be reckoned with, showing the world that power comes from telling the truth without holding back. Journey from Hollywood royalty to activist. Jamie Lee Curtis has changed Hollywood for decades, but her influence goes far beyond movies. Despite the year 2025, she still fights for sincerity and freedom, questioning beauty standards and supporting acceptance. Curtis has talked freely about her choice to accept her normal age instead of undergoing plastic surgery. In addition to fighting for LGBTQ+ rights and mental health awareness, she uses her fame to bring about change. She's still a big deal in the film industry after getting an Oscar for her role in The Last Showgirl and creating The Sticky. With her daring acts and firm support, Curtis shows that reinventing yourself isn't just about changing careers, it's also about making the world a better place for future generations. The crazy, beautiful life of a legend. There have been many brave decisions, fearless reinventions, and honest moments in Jamie Lee Curtis's life. She continues to fascinate people in 2025, looking beautiful in a dramatic black feathered gown that made people talk at the SAG Awards. Beginning as a scream queen in Halloween in 1978, And continuing with her Oscar-winning role in Everything, Everywhere, All at Once in 2023, Curtis has always been open to new experiences. Her latest statement that she's letting go of disappointment and focusing on hope shows that she is strong and determined. Through her acting, politics, or personal reveals, Curtis remains a Hollywood star who refuses to fit in. She shows the world that real beauty is in accepting that life is unpredictable. The photos that tell her story. Jamie Lee Curtis's journey through Hollywood is beautifully shown in famous and hard-to-find photos. Recently discovered pictures from 2025 show how she changed from a young scream queen in 1978's Halloween to an Oscar-winning actor in 2023's Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Her bold approach to fashion is shown in old pictures, such as the stunning black feathered gown she wore to the 2025 SAG Awards. Images from behind the scenes of True Lies show her dedication to action-packed parts, and casual photos with her with other stars, like Lindsay Lohan at CinemaCon, show the long-lasting nature of her friendships. Rare pictures of Curtis's life show her changing over the years while staying true to herself, whether on the red carpet or in a private moment with her family. If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon